Hey guys, James here. I kind of moved the mic a bit, but today is finally here. Hulk versus Godzilla. As always, video will be in the description, and we got 10 minutes before the episode starts because I want to talk about this waiting period because this one was just fucking weird. So like the last, I don't know, 5 episodes. I feel like it's been since Chief Slayer, but probably was a bit before that. It was like Hulkzilla debate was in like the waiting periods in all those for like I think it's because like the crossover comic with Godzilla just beating the fuck out of a lot of the big Marvel characters. So that just was up being talked about like every fucking waiting period. So then like everyone saw it come time of Hulk versus Godzilla's actual waiting period. It would just be a nonstop debate. The first 3 weeks, nothing fucking happened. Like, you remember how Chief Slayer was just like, okay, everything was fucking going on except talking about the matchup? With this, it was, nothing was going on, but no one was talking about the matchup for like the first 3 weeks of it. And it was just like really bizarre to see. Like, I think a big part of it was just because of people trying to look into like some of the stuff with Godzilla and a lot of like the really popular Hulk comics. With Godzilla, I think the biggest ones were definitely Ultima and Godzilla in Hell. To where Godzilla in Hell, and I had someone comment this. I don't remember their name. I'm not gonna say it anyways because I don't want like them to get fucking heckled or nothing. They're saying how Ultima is overplayed. Godzilla in Hell is actually like the big one, and because he like killed God, or it's like a multi over outer first some bullshit. I don't know. But I guess like with Godzilla in Hell in particular, there has been a lot of shit going on with that in the versus field, where a lot of people would make like fake DeviantArt accounts to say like, they'll be pretend to be like the creators of the fucking comic and say, oh, this is this and whatever is this. So like Godzilla destroyed like the IDW god that created the entire IDW universe, and it's just I guess there's a lot of that shit going on, and people just like pressing the people who actually did make the comics of like, oh, is this? Does this make Godzilla outerversal or shit like that? Which is really fucking wild to me that people would do that. It reminds me a lot of the fake DMC scans, Devil May Cry scans, where to get like, I don't know, multiversal or something. I don't know, that was a few years back. But that was wild. So and a lot of people who did like read through the Godzilla and Hell stuff was able to like determine like, okay, this stuff is real. Like Godzilla does kill a mountain thing that calls itself God or whatever. Godzilla does become like a little hellbat thing, but Godzilla, like this god, we don't really know how have an exact power of how strong it is, or if Godzilla really like actually killed him or what. It was something like that. I don't know. Because, like, while G1 didn't make a blog for this, another group did. I don't remember the name. I want to say it was Mega something. Mega Media, I want to say it was, that made, like, a blog for it that released, like, literally this morning at, like, 12 in the fucking morning, or a bit before 12, like 11:45 or something. At least my time zone-wise. So, and, like, that was a big thing. And also, I somehow didn't mention this. This episode had an extra week of a waiting period. This was released like on the 12th or not 12th, the 17th or whatever. But they're trying something they according to Ben that they've never done before with the animation for this. So they had to like delay it back. Also my AC will be running. I didn't move myself back this time because I don't really think it's going to pick up super notably, at least for when the video actually starts playing. Anyways, the episode got delayed by like a week. So this was a 5-week waiting period. And nothing really happened until maybe like the last, I don't know, week and a half maybe. Like that's when shit actually started happening. So yeah, that's when like discussion on the matchup actually started to come up, which is really funny to me, but also like, how the hell after this waiting period as a whole. But yeah, I feel like there's something else I wanted to discuss. I talked about the Godzilla. Also, yeah, a lot of people looked a bit more into Ultima. People got some more translations on the novelization. And yeah, this is just a weird waiting period. Like, it was super fucking boring for the first, like, 3 weeks. And then, like, they announced, oh, this is going back another week. And then it felt like stuff started happening. So, I don't know. That, when I made my prediction video, I was rooting and betting Hulk. And I am still rooting and betting Hulk. Because the blog that came out, it was either going to be Hulk or a stalemate. Not Godzilla winning, a stalemate. So, and I feel like they are going to... I feel like Hulk will probably win. I find his arguments to be ultimately safer. Oh yeah, I wanted to say this, but they had to bring in the fucking cavalry with this one. Because there was the research team, and also a whole group of guest researchers. Because these two have so much to look into. Like, and because, like, how, like, debatable this matchup is, and all the complex shit with, like, Hulk's stats and Godzilla's hacks, you have to look into everything. You can't leave a page unturned with these two. So, they had to bring in, like, a whole bunch of, like, guest researchers, which I don't know the last time that's happened. I think that might have been before the research team was actually, you know, like, developed. So, that is wild to me. That really is. That goes to show, like, how much dedication go into this. B, how much they actually do care about the fans. I know a lot of people will say Jeff Bell doesn't care about his fans, even though they are extremely grateful to the fans, because without the fans, this show would be dead right now. So, the fact that they were fully willing to reach out to a bunch of community members to help with the research on this, I think that says a lot. That says how much they really care about the community. So, yeah, I don't know what else I got to say, really. I am rooting and betting Hulk. That's not changed. Like I said, I think Hulk just has overall safer arguments. I accidentally muted myself to... There we go. I had to get something off my mic. Enjoy that ASMR sound. Anyways, I am rooting and betting Hulk here. I just think Hulk has overall safer arguments. Also, I really like this thumbnail. I just want to... I don't think the thumbnails get enough credit. But, like, this is probably, like, my second favorite of, 24 and 25. I think my favorite is probably Wily Tom. But this is a really cool one. I saw someone else say this, but it really gives, like, a movie poster vibe. And that generally feels like the theme they're going for was this one. Like, judging by the rundowns, with how they start... I don't know, to me, the structure kind of makes it feel more like a monster movie than a typical rundown. Which, I don't mind. That's pretty cool. Like, mainly with, like, with the opening quotes and how they go on and talk about Hulk. Which does kind of make a bit weird pacing, I feel like, for Hulk's rundown. At least from the preview. I haven't watched the preview since, like... I think the week it was announced that, oh, this is getting pushed back to next week. So, but, whatever. Also, episode 200 is next. And I'm sticking to my guess that it is Ruby versus Maka. I really highly doubt it's going to be Ash Yugi still. I feel like they made it abundantly clear that Ash Yugi is not 200 anymore. I've seen some other guesses. Showtime, finishing with Margaret Rigby, for those who don't know. Fucking the cereal mascot Royale. Mario Sonic Free, which, God, please no. Also, Sans versus the Judge, which, that is it's a really weird guess on paper, but the logic behind it is, you know, this is, like, the first, like, indie, milestone, and, you know, like, that's, like, the biggest indie matchup, and you got Sans, who is one of the most iconic indie video game characters ever, I think really only rivaled by, like, Freddy Fazbear and Shovel Knight and Shantae. So, like, it's a big... It really does feel like a super big deal. Also Among Us, I guess. But, I don't know. I can see the logic for Sans Judge, but I'm going to guess it's going to be Ruby Maka. I've been guessing that for years. I'm sticking to my guess for that. But, says the episode will be premiering very shortly. I've somehow yapped for 10 minutes before this episode started. I'm sorry about that. Roughly 10. But I will cut to when the episode actually starts. So, see you soon. Okay, a few more seconds. I hope this is a good episode. That's all I hope. I just hope it's good.
The Hulk versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
Marvel's Green Goliath against the king of the monsters. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And
Yeah,
it's
we'll
our
see
job
how
to
they
analyze their
play with
weapons,
the
armor, and
dynamic.
skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Let's throw the fucking big ass close shot in his face. Yeah, that's how it starts. I really like this. I like how it starts with this. That feels creative. I probably should have read that out loud, but I read that
What
in my
is
own time.
the Hulk? Is he man? Is he monster? Or is he both?
He's a mean green smashing machine, the angry son of the Gamma Bomb.
A weapon designed by the greatest gamma
this is
scientist of
kinda
all,
really-
Dr.
This also
Robert
kind of makes
Bruce
me think
Banner.
back to
But
like
just
season
before
3
it went on,
rundowns,
Bruce had
which
to
is
be
not
a
a bad
hero and
thing
save
at
some
all.
dumb
I want to make
schmuck
that
who
clear.
was
I don't
hanging
mind a lot
around the
of season
test
3
site.
rundowns.
Damn
but
it, Rick.
This makes me
That
think
day,
of those.
Bruce Banner died.
And
But it's
became
like the modern
the
editor.
Incredible Hulk, a pissed-off giant who must be really glad Bruce wears the purple stretch fit.
Standing 8 feet
those
tall
pants
and
are the strongest
stronger than
thing ever.
10 million men, the
The
Hulk
pants are the
emerges when
strongest thing in
Banner's
this
anger
episode.
flares.
Don't make him angry. You won't like him when he's angry.
But it's even more complex than that. Banner suffers from dissociative identity disorder,
DID.
with many different Hulks embodying alternate personalities.
Like Joe Fixit, the original Grey Hulk. He's a cunning gangster and the only Hulk who's got that drip.
The Devil Hulk is a violent, overprotective personality that
this, so
Banner
he wrote for
unintentionally manifested as a result of his father's
Jesus.
abuse.
Holy
God,
shit,
that panel.
somebody actually drew this?
But the Hulk everyone knows, the big
Oh,
guy,
man,
is known as Savage Hulk.
Devil
It seems he
Fractus,
also developed from parental abuse,
M-
hence his childlike personality.
Alters,
Though I'd argue he's more
likes
clever than
puppies,
you'd
former
expect.
ruler
The
of
angrier
Sakar.
he is, the
Likes
stronger
puppies.
he
That's why they
gets
didn't mention
with
anything about
no
Jeff.
limit.
Except
I saw Jet,
for
like
one,
Jeff with Hulk's
Bruce
mortal enemy
Banner.
and rivals.
See, Banner's relationship with the Hulk is complicated.
Oh, they hate each other.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Occasionally, they can come to an understanding. The alter best representing this would be the Professor Hulk, a balanced blend of Banner's brain and the
you.
Hulk's brawn.
The buffest nerd you'll ever meet. But what about when Bruce takes a step back? If he isn't trying to restrain the Hulk, what do you get?
The
Super
Green
genuine
Scar.
Okay, super
The
speed
World
strength,
Breaker.
regen,
Without
rapid
Bruce's
adapt-
temperament, the Hulk's power and
reactive
fury
adaptation, rapid
surges,
regen,
mixing Savage's
radiation
rising
absorption,
strength with the personality and cunning of
immortality.
a warlord. The Green Scar is no mere superhero. He's a king and a
Also, Beta Ray
conqueror.
Bell on
Hulk
screen.
is strong
Awesome.
enough to
Love
lift
Beta Ray Bell.
150
She'll try to lessen the
billion
load for him,
tons
but
of
she can
rock,
barely lift
jump
him
from
out.
New Mexico
Okay.
to Florida in a single bound, and shake all the dimensions
Yay!
connected by the crossroads at once. He was pinned down by the spear of Proxima
Yeah,
Midnight,
like the
which holds
preview
the weight of a
already
star,
gave Hulk,
and was
like,
fine. And when
outer
we say
versal
World
and
Breaker,
immeasurable.
we mean it. While sparring with Red She-Hulk, the two of them shattered a whole
I
planet.
remember-
At one point, he was
Yeah, I think
bound
this
in
is the
chains
Outers.
forged from the
Yeah,
essence
this
of the
is Outer.
first firmament, the manifestation of the first universe, which could bind eternity itself. Not even Galactus was capable of
Yeah,
saving eternity
Outer.
alone, and the Hulk just broke it by himself.
Maybe Thor should rethink calling himself the strongest Avenger,
True.
especially since the Avengers first assembled because none of them could take down Hulk on their own.
Speaking of Thor, the Hulk
That's a cool
consistently
detail.
battles on par with him, even when he held the Odin Force, with which he could command his hammer through infinite
This thing that
distances
would've
and match the power of
brutalized
Null,
Vegeta
who
even
killed
more.
countless Celestials. Even without it, Mjolnir can cross the universe
Okay, I think
in
this is all
seconds.
new
Hulk
stuff. for
tore
now.
a universe apart with just a clap.
maybe-
Good luck with that, Hammer Man. But the green guy's got way more going on than
Yeah, I
just
think we're
brute
starting to
strength.
get
As
new
the
stuff
Hulk's
now.
power stems from gamma, he can utilize and
Overpowered
absorb it
one
and
blow,
other radiation
strong-
in various
shock all
ways.
dimensions.
Yeah, like regenerating from fatal
Escape
wounds.
dimension
Even getting
infinity.
ripped apart by Wolverine barely slows him down.
Yeah,
And the
stuff here.
angrier he gets, the more regenerating cells his body produces.
It gets weirder. Did you know that if he absorbs enough gamma, he can shoot
It is funny
lasers
to
from his
see all
eyes
this stuff and
and
think
read
back to, like,
people's
the last two
minds?
Hulk episodes and their
Also, he
conclusions.
can see ghosts.
So
And
ghosts.
give him a good old-fashioned Hulk smash.
Just
Hulk
Hulk
can
smash
break through the
Ultima.
boundaries of comic book borders themselves into the empty white between panels, a gutter space beyond time and concept.
What, like how She-Hulk can for some reason break the fourth wall and talk to the reader? Oh, wait, that makes sense now. It's all gamma.
Exactly. In In real life, gamma rays are electromagnetic radiation similar to X-rays.
But in Marvel Comics, gamma comes from hell.
Gamma's
Earth
bullshit.
616, gamma radiation is an electromagnetic frequency that can manifest as either a wave, a particle, or something else. Something that nobody really understands.
Except for Bruce.
That's right. Dr. Banner is a certified genius with 7 PhDs. According to Norman Osborn, he's the 4th smartest person on the
And a
planet.
blurry
And that's
render of
comparative
Bruce.
to big brains like Reed, Doom, and Tony.
Banner built the Hercollider
Isn't it all
synchrotron,
just
a machine that can
rivals
scan the
renders?
entire multiverse with the speed of a hypermind. He created the Gamma Core, which could rupture space-time between universes. He built an interstellar radio on a deserted planet without any pre-established technology. He wired up Hulk like a starship, piloting him from the mindscape within. He even built an ultimate nullifier. In fact, the original intent of his Gamma Bomb
he gonna
was to
use
be
the ultimate
non-lethal,
nullifier?
only targeting inorganic material.
But Thunderbolt Ross wanted something with a bit more boom. Hey, can't blame him.
Fearing its ramifications, Banner developed the Gamma Bomb on his own, keeping its design secret. In the process, he tapped into an unknown form of gamma energy that breaks down reality and mutates it beyond actuality.
What?
On that fateful
Comics are
day,
fucking
he
weird.
opened the Green Door.
Ah,
You
the
know how
Green
we
Door.
said the bomb killed Bruce? That wasn't some flowery metaphor or whatever. He died and came back as Hulk.
Came back from the below place.
Yeah,
the
below
hell
place.
beneath hell.
Yay,
the lowest
hell.
possible dimension of reality.
It's trippy, but whenever Hulk dies,
probably gonna
he
come
goes
down
there.
here.
Then a green door opens and he goes back to where he was before. Easy as that. It doesn't matter if he's been atomized, sliced up into jars, or digested by werewolves.
Can't
If he
kill
goes through the door,
Yeah,
he's
mutates
back,
are
ready
where
to
the Green Door
rumble. The
generates
green
faster
door
than
did
most
get locked into a
Power
red
Man
door,
versus
but
Green
he's
Door
easily
is
broken through it multiple
Okay.
times.
Okay.
Not a problem.
It turns out that third form of gamma, this anomaly from the bedrock of hell, spawns from none other than the one below
Yay,
all.
Satan!
The dark side of the one above all.
That's right, God has a Hulk, and it wants Bruce to bring about the end of all things. But Hulk just said, nah.
So, what is the Hulk?
Hulk just
An
let
uncontrollable monster? A prison for a tortured soul? A super weapon for Armageddon?
Don't overthink it, Wiz. Hulk is
The
Hulk,
fuck, I just realized
and
that
Hulk's
Jeff
the
just
strongest
slaughtered.
one there is.
Alright, the rundown's pretty solid. Godzilla's son of the atomic bomb. He is a nightmare creator of the darkness of the human soul. He is the sacred piece of the apocalypse.
The year was
Hulk turned out pretty
1946. The press
It didn't
gathered
feel
at
as
the
much like
Bikini
story
Atoll to
coverage
witness
as
the
it
power
did of
the nuclear
Universal
bomb.
stuff, but they gave a
many
pretty
leagues
good-
beneath their feet,
Give a great
something
understanding on
ancient
Hulk and
stirred.
what he is.
Godzilla,
So.
the king of the monsters.
see how Godzilla
he
fares,
was
'cause this
pretty
is, like,
pissed off
way
over the
shorter
worst
in
wake-up
comparison.
ever, so he swam to
also
Japan
Miku,
for
I'm
one
happy about
hell of
that.
a crash out.
Japan was still recovering from the war, so seeing this
Please
mutilated
mention, like,
radioactive
Bessie's with
monster
Miku
towering
in the-
high
in
like
the
a mushroom
background
cloud
slide.
wasn't just frightening, it seemed prophetic.
laugh.
The bomb was just the beginning. Man had sparked the end of times.
Complete with googly eyes.
Yeah.
And the most epic roar ever.
That's not Liam. It is-
Over the years, there have been many iterations of the beast.
Between movies, TV, comics, and cartoons, there's at least 27 different Godzillas stomping
There are a
around.
lot of
Not
Godzillas.
including Manila, the Scrappy Doo of kaiju. Sorry, that's insulting to Scrappy Doo.
Nah,
Despite the
Who that fucker
variety,
is.
Godzilla
President
is
of the
somewhat
USA and
consistent,
Looney
so
Tunes?
we'll
What?
examine his
King
entire
of the Monsters
history, focusing on the
Evolutions?
larger releases.
Santa
In
Claus?
most iterations, Godzilla is a rare
was that?
theropod that went dormant for millions of years before nuclear bombs
where's
mutated it into a
no Bessie, just
gargantuan
me too.
radioactive monster.
Standing 165 feet tall, at minimum, Goji smashes through skyscrapers with ease. He's so casual about bullets and rockets, they might as well be gnats. And the bombs did so much more than just pump up his size. He's got atomic breath.
A concentrated beam
Bam.
or spray of radioactive heat. With an estimated range of 1,100 miles, it can exceed 500,000 degrees Celsius, almost 90 times hotter than
That's
the surface
kinda
of
hot,
the sun.
probably.
But
Gotta give
depending
you a
on
pretty
how
bad
much
sunburn.
radiation he's absorbed, or life energy from a giant pterodactyl, he can do way more with it.
His red spiral ray is a
God, Godzilla's
supercharged
so
version that
cartoony
doubles in
sometimes.
heat and power, and spins.
Or he can blast it out of his
It
back
is
and
really
fly.
funny, 'cause-
Well, he could always do that, I guess.
Because the main thing
Look
I
at him
think
go.
about with
With enough
Godzilla
energy
now is
built up,
-1.
Godzilla can
So
blast
it's really
a
funny
nuclear
to see
pulse
all
out
this
of his
goofy
whole
shit.
body, creating a
just
massive
think
wave
about
of atomic
-1.
destruction.
His breathing laser can even break through dimensions, like when he found
Hatsune
himself face to
Miku!
face with a giant mech. piloted by Hatsune Miku.
Yay!
There's also a number of era exclusive
Also,
powers.
Rhythm Move
Shin
canonically
Godzilla can
Miku
fire
fans
rays from
given
his
the
tail.
preview,
And
so that's
Hanna-Barbera
awesome.
Godzilla can fire rays from his eyes. Pew, pew.
Effectively a living nuclear reactor, Shin possesses
It's
a
all new
natural
stuff now, I
phased
know
array
that.
radar
I know
that
that
can
it was
detect and
Miku.
attack threats automatically. And Godzilla Earth, who grew over 1,000 feet tall across 2,000 years, could make a barrier only penetrable by kaiju that can bypass physics.
And don't forget,
Huh.
Big G can ball with the best of them. After Charles Barkley got him his own pair of Nikes, Godzilla got busy.
You know,
Godzilla's
it's kind of hard
ballin'.
to emphasize just how impressively terrifying Godzilla can
That's
be when
funny.
you're bringing up this sort of thing.
Oh yeah? Why don't you find a better spokesperson for Dr. Pepper? Fine, let's talk about when his presence boiled the entire Arctic Ocean, or how he picked up and threw Biolante, which weighed 200,000 tons, or when he no-sold not one, not two, but 3 meteors.
Including the Permian period extinction event that happened about 200 million years ago.
Then he went to hell, fought some fucked up versions of God and Satan,
Hey, Godzilla
and atomic
now.
breath that Space Godzilla so hard that he blew up the whole planet. That's scary enough for you?
So the Godzilla
God, I
defeated
want a
Demon
Dr. Pepper.
With such
Tsurusa,
awesome
how
might,
that's,
he's battled the most
implying
dangerous
Godzilla
of
generations
foes,
and
like
something.
King Ghidorah
Okay.
and Gigan. In Godzilla vs. Megalon, Gigan flew from the M Hunter Nebula to Earth in 24 seconds, and that nebula is
Godzilla's fought
30,000
Space
light
Godzilla
years
multiple
away.
times. He flew
But
from Black
sadly,
Hole to Earth in
OG
short
Goji
distance.
got
Okay.
done in by the cruelest weapon ever.
The Oxygen Destroyer. Developed in secret by Dr. Serizawa, this weapon could suffocate and liquefy molecules. The ramifications of such a weapon were so detrimental, Serizawa took the secrets of its design to his early grave.
He got lucky. It doesn't matter what you throw
Hey,
at
my
Godzilla.
fun.
He never really dies. You can blow off his head, explode him from the inside, or crush him in a black hole. Then he'll come back.
Or evolve into an even more powerful form. Godzilla's always possessed heightened
Hey,
adaptation,
it's
but many iterations
ultimate right
clearly
there.
showcase instantaneous evolution.
And super
Oh, that
He's
looks
gone
goofy.
full
I think
Shonen
that's
and
shit.
powered up a few times. So
But
much
Shin's
so
getting
he
like
almost
a
kicked off a
remake. I
nuclear
gotta
winter
watch
just
that.
by existing.
Even the Oxygen Destroyer
From
could
what
not
I've heard,
permanently
Shin's, like,
end
one of
the
the best
first
Godzillas.
Godzilla. His ghost possessed a robot, his bones summoned another Godzilla, and he rose as an undead revenant hell-bent on destroying Japan.
Okay, why Japan? Couldn't he pick on some
fuck
other
Godzilla.
country?
He stomped around the Americas a few times, but it just isn't the same. Godzilla is intrinsically linked with Japan,
That's fucking
a symbol
Godzilla.
of both their devastation and resilience. A reminder of the threat of nuclear war and what awaits those who peer too
Yeah.
deeply into the unknown. But also, Japan's in Godzilla's perceived territory. To him, a stomping through Osaka is just another patrol.
He's not always so bad, though.
True.
He can be super protective,
Destroyer,
defending
Giga,
other
Daka,
monsters, his own kid, and sometimes even people. I'd say there's 2 types of Godzillas.
Yeah,
the
they-
monster of nature's wrath and the guardian of planet Earth.
Well, there is a third type, but to understand that, we should
Oh,
first answer
come
a
on.
question. How does Godzilla walk?
What?
On 2 legs, Wiz, obviously.
But
This is
according to
Liam.
Square Cube law, those legs should be crushed under his own weight.
Oh, God, here we go again.
A creature like Godzilla cannot realistically exist. This proved to be an elusive question for decades.
Is that why
even
the
highlighted
thighs
in
are so
Shin
fucking
Godzilla,
fat?
Until a new theory was presented in the anime Singular Point. If
Is that why
Godzilla
Ultima
can't
has such
exist in
fucking
our
thick as
reality,
hell
what
thighs
if he's
to
from
support
a
his
different
body?
one?
What? Like he's an alien from another dimension?
Exactly. What if all
Okay, where's
kaiju
it
come
going
from a
insane?
higher plane of existence with no regard for the known laws of physics? This dimension enters our reality in the form of archetype, a transtemporal conceptual particle.
It's that red dust that's floating all over the place.
This archetype can enter any timeline to terraform the Earth and all of reality so that kaiju can exist.
Ah.
This theoretically explains why various Godzillas appear in so many universes. They all trace back to one singular point: Godzilla
I
Ultima.
get it.
Sporting the wide grin of a demonic Oni, Ultima is vicious. Just walking
He
through
looks silly.
Tokyo started 1,000 earthquakes around Japan. Even his own blood is a weapon.
Over 300 feet tall and growing ever more as archetype distorts the universe, Ultima's existence implies a far more complex origin for all Godzillas. Godzilla is a test
Multiple
for
Godzilla time later,
humanity,
reference
a challenge
predators
laid out by an
associated with
eldritch
like
entity
Destiny
from a
also
dimension we are incapable of
attacks, like
perceiving or
okay.
comprehending. ending.
It's kind of like how when we move an object and its shadow changes, we get why that happened. But to someone who exists in only a 2D plane, the shadow looks like it just randomly transformed into something totally different. Crazy to think about. Come a really long way from Big Lizard Smash Building, huh?
Yeah,
This
bro.
shadow, this wannabe god, desires to play with and destroy every single universe.
And Godzilla is its avatar.
Through Ultima, this entity sees the universe as an interactable fiction
Yep.
and can control causality. Ultima himself is a singular point, one of many gateways through which the entity can tamper with reality.
Think of it this way.
That is
If
weird.
something happens that the entity doesn't like, it can just say, that thing didn't actually happen, and presto, it no longer happened.
That's not to say such an event can't happen in the moment of occurrence, but the entity disconnects cause and effect and nullifies events in retrospect without regard for time.
And now my head hurts. TLDR, Ultima tried to bring about a catastrophe that would end the universe in like a week's time. So, a wacky robot and a time-traveling Alexa used
What?
a supercomputer and this familiar-looking doohickey
Your orthogonal diagonalizer.
to zap all of Archetype into its final form, cutting off the entity's connection to the universe.
But not killing it. Because while each Godzilla has its differences, one thing remains certain.
Godzilla is immortal, and that makes him the king.
That was a fun rundown. It was wacky as well. But
Look at the skulls, gaze into their eyes.
I bought the dummy
now
star.
you are completely hypnotized.
Okay, I'm sticking to my bet here.
You've fallen into my evil trap.
I wouldn't be
order you
surprised
right
if
now. Go
Godzilla
to
wins the episode.
deathbattle.gg.
but I'm sticking
Wiz,
to my bet.
It
on
didn't work.
Hulk.
They're still here.
What? No, Boomstick, this is terrible.
Yeah, you covered the
How can I
center.
get them to go to the Death Battle website?
Just tell them about all the cool Death Battle stuff they'll find.
I also
like
bought
a bunch
the-
of exclusive
the
merch,
fucking,
every episode ever,
Spider-Man
even ones not on
Deku
YouTube,
mug.
and a bunch of
I have
behind-the-scenes
both
goodies.
fiction
So
mugs.
how about it, guys? Go to www.deathbattle.gg.
All right, you heard him. Don't make a liar out of Boomstick. Go to deathbattle.gg.
It's weird. They haven't really had sponsors. They've just been sponsoring this, but the cast is getting
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the
I hate
data
that
through all
image of Godzilla
possibilities.
with the Hulk there.
It's time
The
for
one
a
that with
Death
Godzilla's face so
Battle!
fucking goofy. It's like Hulk trying to fucking punch a cough drop out of his mouth. Okay, let's see. We haven't really gotten too great of a preview of this, so. I shouldn't say that, but we got some cool ones. The render does.
Godzilla has reached the city. So far, the evacuation is.
Model looks
Wait,
cool.
look!
Yeah, it's about setup I expected. I think Hulk is like a fusion between two different Rivals models. Looks alright. Okay, so they are kind of working around the size issue here. Holy shit!
All right, Hulk. Time for me to take over. We don't want any trouble.
No! Hulk, stay!
Yeah, they're using Bruce. Hell yeah. Oh, that's creepy. That's cool. Okay, this I think is.
Think you're strong? I scarred the world!
Okay, so that's as far as I think we've seen preview-wise. Holy! Okay, the reach out is pretty good here. It's gonna be weirdly animated. That's cool. And it's different. It's like a Steven Universe there. Okay, no, this is everything we've seen so far. This looks cool. Like, it looks really cool. Jesus Christ, that is cool.
Stupid lizard.
KO! Yeah, here comes Shin. Or not Shin, Ultima. fight the hell. I thought they were gonna take the fight to hell right there.
I think I understand.
Yeah, there's the big boy. I think it was mainly -1 design, now it's Ultimate design. Yeah, this does
The
kind
day
of feel
since
like
the
a
battle
movie.
began, and the red dust is spreading. Godzilla has grown in size, but we believe we are...
Oh, she's dead!
How does it work?
Well, smash.
Smash!
1,000,000,000,000,000 trillion to 1 and rising. That's the odds.
Wait, is this something like multiple Godzillas?
Chance to nullify the madness behind the monster. 2 + 2 is 5. A right angle is 80 degrees. This element is beyond what we can perceive. Like gamma. 1,000 times.
I do like this. Bruce, like, trying to figure it out.
1,000,000. 1,000,000,000,000. I just need 1.
So I think this might be what they, oh, this is gonna be what they meant by something different. Oh, that's cool, actually. Holy shit. That looks cool. I wish I had more to say. Like, it's cool looking.
You did it, big guy. We did it.
Huh. Okay, yeah, help me.
Okay, run this by me. What happened?
It's
Yeah,
complicated,
it's weird.
so let's break
I
this
think
down
I
into
see what
3
they meant by
categories.
something different.
First up, power. Most
Yeah,
versions of
Hulk
Godzilla
Man!
can shrug
He
off
doesn't
black
go
holes
in
and
the
extinction
free
level
category.
events, tag beyond light speed foes like Gigan, blow up planets. However, the Hulk is beyond that.
The big guy clapped the universe to bits and shook the infinite dimensions linked to the crossroads. In a straight fight with a classic Godzilla, 616 Hulk smashes the
Yeah.
power advantage.
I'll
But
rewatch
factoring
the
in
fight
Ultimate
and the
changes
conclusion
things.
to look over
The
the black
entity
boxes,
sees
but-
all of space-time and can manipulate its results at a whim.
That
No
was
matter
good.
how
That
strong
thing
the
was
Hulk
good.
got, Ultima could potentially negate it.
But Hulk broke chains made of the first firmament, which could overwhelm eternity.
An abstract concept of a being not entirely unlike Ultima's entity.
Yeah, I
Even a
think
small
it's
piece
just
of the
that
first
just
firmament
straight
could
going
break
to
the multiverse.
Hulk no matter
Plus,
what.
Hulk kept up with Odin Force Thor, who is also on a celestial level of power.
So the gap in power becomes nebulous. Still, unless Hulk could remove Ultima from the equation, neither held a clear advantage in
Really?
power and stats.
Okay.
Especially when you look at their immortality.
This was practically a never-ending death loop. Even with their healing factors, both could technically
I
kill
remember,
each
I
other,
think like Jet
but then just
Jaguar or
come
whatever
right back.
was able
The
to
green door
punch
instantly
Ultima
appears
to
when
death.
Hulk goes to the below place, and
Just
the higher
like
dimensional
defeat for
entity
good,
could
so-
always summon a replacement Godzilla avatar. So both
Excuse
Hulk
me.
and Godzilla could not stay dead.
Unless they could somehow prevent what was happening in those
Two
other
times,
dimensions.
okay.
So let's examine the layers of their multiverses.
Oh, God.
Marvel's Cosmos has infinite higher dimensions, which themselves are transcended by the
Oh,
astral
no.
plane, the
Not
superflow,
cosmology,
and
man.
so on until you reach the House of Ideas, the domain of the one
Planet
above
could
all.
be-
Since the
should've
one
been.
below all mirrors the one above all, the below place mirrors the House of Ideas. Get it?
In comparison, the cosmos of Godzilla's multiverse is just as vast and infinite, but does not have the same sort of transcending layers above and below. This means the below place, the Hulk's respawn point and source of power, is out of the entity's reach.
So the real question is, if they both can't die and Ultima's entity can't affect the below place, could Hulk somehow stop the entity before it destroyed the universe?
It all comes down to Gamma and Archetype. Ultima was defeated in the anime by using a trans-temporal superdimension calculator operating at infinite speeds to activate the orthogonal diagonalizer, turning Archetype against itself.
Ultima endlessly spews this stuff, so there's plenty to work with. And Hulk can reach into comic book gutter space, so he should be able to reach through a singular point. But that's
Yeah.
not enough.
Fortunately for Hulk, it
Okay.
just so happens he knows someone who,
Oh,
like
Bruce.
scientists who have defeated Godzilla
That's
in the
why Bruce
past,
did play a
is an
big part in
expert
this.
on particles from a greater dimension
Like,
that
that is
mutate
nice.
reality beyond our understanding.
Who made a device with those particles that breaks space-time, like the Diagonalizer? Who made a supercomputer that scanned the infinite multiverse with the speed of a hypermind, like the Dimension Calculator? Hell, the guy made an interstellar radio out of sticks and stones in a matter of days, and even built an ultimate nullifier. It's like he was made for this.
The Green Door waits for no Hulk, including Banner. Even if Ultima's catastrophe destroyed the universe, the Door could deposit Banner in a different universe and he could continue the fight.
He had all the time in the infinite
Green is purple,
multiverse.
not
There was
like
only
green,
one
alright.
way this could end, and only one person who could make it so.
Okay.
Even among gods and monsters,
Pretty solid
man was
explanation.
the Ultima weapon.
Let's see
The
what's
winner
next.
is Bruce Banner.
Oh, now you
Next
know.
time on Death Battle.
Ruby Mako, let's go! Fucking do it! Yeah, this is the 200.
Subscribe and join
That's
as a member to
perfect.
see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
That is the perfect pick for 200. I am so glad they went with that for the 200th episode. I get bragging rights for that too, because I'll say this again in my prediction video. I've been saying Ruby Mako would be a great pick for episode 200 way back in season fucking 8. So what, 2021? And during a fireside chat, I think during late season 9, when the topic of Ruby Maka came up, in chat, I suggested Ruby versus Maka as the 200th episode, and Ben saw that and liked it. I am taking partial credit to Ruby Maka being episode 200. But fuck yeah. We'll rewatch the fight and the rundown. Because there's a lot of shit.
Here's how we
Piss
created our
off.
pit steps app for class project. First,
off.
the brush.
Fuck off.
Now the
Fuck
lasso for
off.
tweaking. Perfect.
What the fuck?
Ready for color. Then you drag it
Okay,
into design. Then done.
it's being weird. There we go. I'm gonna mute this real quick just so we get through this. But I thought that was good. I feel like it could have been more, but it was still overall good. 25:30. Okay, that checks out. Lengthwise, that does check out. So we'll rewatch the fight, and then I'll give like my overall thoughts. But for like the rundowns, because I'm not rewatching those, I thought they were pretty solid. Like they're very informative, I'll say. That's mainly just my take. I think they're pretty informative. There's some solid jokes throughout. It definitely, excuse me, Hulk's I feel like could have been a bit more character oriented. You know, like talking about how Bruce and Hulk has been able to sell their differences overall. But I think it's overall solid. It gives a good understanding on the Hulk and his capabilities, what the fuck he can do. Godzilla's I think is pretty solid as well. It definitely like talks about all these different versions of Godzilla and explains Ultima fairly well. Again, like it has some solid jokes. I think there was more jokes in that I liked or like actively found funny than I did in the Hulks. Overall, pretty solid rundowns. That was 16 minutes. God, those are long. We'll rewatch the fight, and then I'll end the conclusion. Where I will pause during the conclusion. We might give the fight one more watch too, but.
Death Battle!
Also, hold on. I want to show what the fuck I meant. Where is it?
All right,
This fucking image, I hate it. Godzilla looks so fucking silly in this. Like, what the hell? Why does he look like that? That's how Godzilla or Hulk is. Looks like he's gonna punch something out of his fucking throat that's choking him. Like, he looks like a goddamn sock puppet. Okay.
Death Battle!
Let's rewatch the fight now. I had to get out of my system. Yeah, okay, so yeah, the model here for Godzilla is really good.
Godzilla has reached the city.
I think
so
it's
far,
more
the
so a
evacuation is...
-1 just
Wait,
like design.
look!
Yeah, Hulk's model is pretty alright overall. I don't think it looks great in every shot, but it looks pretty solid. It clashes well with Godzilla. Yeah, they do some good stuff with like the size difference. Like that right there, I think is pretty cool.
All right, Hulk. Time for me to take over. We don't want any trouble.
No! Hulk stays!
The voice acting for Hulk and Bruce, very solid. It's a new voice actor from Broly and Doomsday's episode. He does a good job.
You think you're strong? I scar the world!
Did they say I scar the world? I can't tell he says that. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Stays out!
Yeah, like the region looks cool. It does feel like they use like impact of like how big Godzilla is fairly well too. Okay, that's a cool use of the thunderclap. Yeah, like the corpse for Godzilla there, that looks awesome. Like holy shit. That in itself is a cool kill.
Lizard.
The red mist coming out of the corpse there, that's awesome.
I think I understand.
Yeah, and the Ultima model also looks pretty solid here. Like, it doesn't look as, like, detailed as the main Godzilla model, but Ultima's model is pretty solid in this. I think probably we don't see the bag with flies on him,
Days
so
since the battle began,
I
and
could
the red
take him
dust is
seriously.
spreading. Godzilla has grown in size, but we believe we are.
How does it work?
Well, smash. A million, trillion to one and rising. That's the odds.
This does feel like a big
Chance to
cinematic.
nullify the madness
experience.
behind the monster. 2 + 2 is 5. A right angle is 80 degrees. This element is beyond what we can perceive. Like gamma. 1,000 times.
This is a cool build-up as well.
A trillion. I just need one.
I do like it plays way more into Bruce's intelligence. That is kind of cool. Like, this whole thing here is pretty awesome. Breaking through it. Killing the lizard for good. Like, that in itself, it's confusing, but that's a pretty cool kill there. With all the fucking spikes infused with gamma radiation overpowering Ultima. That is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, and that is also a very dope visual right there.
You did it, big guy. We did it.
And I think that's a good final fight.
KO!
Hey, overall, I think the animation is good. It doesn't have, like, super crazy moments like the last couple have, admittedly. But I think it's overall good. I think it's very solid. I do wish they kind of did more with Ultima in general. But still, this is overall pretty solid. In the conclusion, we'll rewatch.
Okay, run this by me. What happened?
It's complicated, so let's break this down into 3
The
categories.
power, immortality, gamma versus archetype.
First up,
I'm surprised, like, resistances wasn't one of the things that come up, because, like, that was definitely a big part in it, was how, like, while they both resist a lot of their shit, Hulk generally does resist a lot more of Godzilla's big important hexes.
power. Most versions of Godzilla can shrug off black holes and extinction level events.
Some Godzillas have defeated characters like Thor and Superman in comics, but these scenarios involve off-comic gags or Elseworld variants with unique circumstances and less power than their mainline counterparts. Okay, so I guess that's their counter to the whole Godzilla fighting off comic superheroes, which is fair.
Tag beyond light speed foes like Gigan, blow up planets. However, the Hulk is beyond that.
The big guy clapped a universe to bits and shook the infinite dimensions linked to the crossroads. In a straight fight with a classic Godzilla, 616 Hulk smashes the power advantage.
But factoring in Ultima changes things. The entity sees all of space-time and can...
I want to read that one sec.
But factoring in Ultima changes things. The entity...
The singularity cannot be destroyed. It is the nature of space-time, so to speak. It's the nature of space-time, so to speak. That it cannot be destroyed from within space-time. It is like a character in a movie trying to break the screen. The singularity is just a hole given from outside the screen. The character in the film don't have a hand to plug the hole.
Sees all of space-time and can manipulate it.
The individual's teeth penetrate it, but it ignores this fact. It did not even turn its body around. It simply ignored the fact and nullified reality.
Results at a whim. No matter how strong the Hulk got, Ultima could potentially negate it.
But Hulk broke chains made of the first firmament, which could overwhelm eternity.
An abstract concept of a...
In the Singular Point novel, Pelops suggests Ultima can lose by connecting it to an episode where it's defeated, essentially manipulating meta-narrative. This is one of the multiple proposed methods. Physical combat combined with the orthogonal what the fuck are these words? Diagonalizer is determined to be the most effective option.
Being not entirely unlike Ultima's entity.
Even a small piece of the first firmament could break the multiverse. Plus, Hulk kept up with Odin Force Thor, who is also on a celestial level of power.
So the gap in power becomes nebulous. Still, unless Hulk could remove Ultima from the equation, neither held a clear...
So I guess that was their way of saying power is equal? I don't know. I feel like you just given power to Hulk, but considering that Godzilla got like no advantages here, they decided to say sought it and didn't really bother with it, which, you know, fair enough. I think for like just the casual viewer, it's fair to just say like, yeah, power, they're fucking equal, whatever, let's move on.
Advantage in power and stats.
Especially when you look at their immortality.
This was practically a never-ending death loop. Even with their healing factors, both could technically kill each other, but then just come right back.
The green door instantly appears when Hulk goes to the below place, and the higher dimensional entity could always summon a replacement Godzilla avatar. So both Hulk and Godzilla could not stay dead.
So that was Hulk destroying the singularity. Got it.
Unless they could somehow prevent what was happening in those other dimensions. So let's examine the layers of their multiverses. Marvel's cosmos has infinite higher dimensions, which themselves are transcended by the astral plane, the superflow, and so on.
Eternity,
Until
neutral zone, far shore, Beyonders domain, hot white room, land that couldn't but shouldn't be. The house.
you reach the House of Ideas, the domain of the one above all.
Since the
It feels
one
like this covers some Marvel cosmology better than Galactus Unicron did. I would have to rewatch that, but...
below all mirrors the one above all, the below place mirrors the House of Ideas. Get it?
In comparison, the cosmos of Godzilla's multiverse is just as vast and infinite, but does not have the same sort of transcending layers above and below. This means the below place, the Hulk's respawn point and source of power, is out of the entity's reach.
So the real question is, if they both can't die and Ultima's entity can't
Hulk broke a Pacton Artemis, an unbreakable contract of reality set by the eldest child of the Mother of Horrors, an entity beyond existence and older than the one of all. Considering the difference in scale of their cosmologies, this outclasses even the most charitable interpretation representations of the entity in the singular.
Affect the below place, could Hulk somehow stop the entity before it destroyed the universe?
It all comes down to Gamma and Archetype. Ultima was defeated in the anime by using a trans-temporal superdimension calculator operating at infinite speeds to activate the orthogonal diagonalizer, turning Archetype against itself.
Ultima endlessly spews this stuff, so there's plenty to work with. And Hulk can reach into comic book gutter space, so he should be able to reach through a singular point. But that's not enough.
Fortunately for Hulk, it just so happens he knows someone who, like scientists who have defeated Godzilla in the past, is an expert on particles from a greater dimension that mutate reality beyond our understanding.
Who made a device with...
Find the code of the OD is defined as NP complete problem, a real-world classification of difficulty. Banner's intelligence is comparable to 6160 Reed Richards, who solved that complete problems mid-combat, an even higher difficulty tier. Okay. P-Space. I'll take your word on that one. I don't know what the fuck either of those are.
Those particles that break space-time, like the diagonalizer, who made a supercomputer that scanned the infinite multiverse with the speed of a hypermind, like the dimension calculator. Hell, the guy made an interstellar radio out of sticks and stones in a matter of days, and even built an ultimate nullifier. It's like he was made for this.
The Green Door waits for no Hulk, including Banner.
Godzilla briefly mutated from gamma radiation in an Elseworlds comic. It's possible this mutated Godzilla could appear in the below place, but it would be out of the entity's reach and no longer usable. Hulk could also absorb the gamma energy out of Godzilla. Okay, that's why that fight didn't go to hell.
Even if Ultima's catastrophe destroyed the universe, the Door could deposit Banner in a different universe, and he could continue the fight.
He had all the time in the infinite multiverse.
There was only one way this could end, and only one person who could make it so.
Even among gods and monsters, man was the Ultima weapon.
The winner is Bruce Banner.
Yeah, okay, I agree with it. I do think I probably should have had the rundowns maybe structured a bit differently, but I think it does the job. It generally points out the arguments that was mainly required. A lot of the resistances was shit. That would have been nice if they talked about, but I understand versus shit. Keep it easy for the casual viewers. Overall, I liked it. We'll give the fight one more watch, but I won't watch
Next time on Death Battle.
Yeah, the big 200. The Ruby Marca.
Subscribe.
And this is the Kickstarter matchup I was the most excited for. Like, Shikito was close, but this was in my top 20 most wanted. It was like number 17 or some shit. I love Ruby Maka, and I am so glad it's happening. I'm also so glad it's the 200th. I get bragging rights for that. I'll get the fight one more watch, and then that'll be the, I'll give closing overall thoughts on the whole episode. As that I went a bit too far back, whoopsie doodles. So I'll give this one more viewing, and then...
Godzilla has reached the city. So far, the evacuation is... Wait, look!
A lot of this shit looks so cool. Like the camera work here is really great.
Time for me to take over. We don't want any trouble.
No! Hulk stays!
I feel like the smoothness of the animation is a big upgrade from the last few 3D episodes. And it does help there's free animators on it. Not saying like Devil's a bad animator at all, because he's also one of these animators. I think it helps that he's not the one doing everything with it now. It gives him more time to focus on your
Just strong
they like destroy Godzilla's top half of his jaw or something? What happened there? I just see, yeah, it's like a Steam universe. Was there not a Hulk smash in this actually? That is a cool looking shot.
Stupid lizard.
Oh wait, no, there wasn't. I think there was a Hulk smash. Bruce's advice. The transformation into Ultima is fucking awesome, though. I do like how the green door becomes red. It kind of looks like Ultima's trying to corrupt that. That is cool.
I think I understand.
It's been days since the battle began, and the red dust is spreading. Godzilla has grown in size, but we believe we are...
How does it work?
Well, smash.
Okay, yeah, we got close enough to Hulk smash.
1,000,000,000 trillion to 1 and rising. That's the odds. Chance to nullify the madness behind the monster. 2 + 2 is 5. A right angle is 80 degrees. This element is beyond what we can perceive. Like gamma.
I do like how it's Bruce's intelligence.
1,000
That
times.
is Godzilla's big downfall here. That is pretty clever.
1,000,000. 1,000,000,000,000. I just need 1.
And that is a cool little visual for the kill there. That is pretty dope. I think it's hard to implement, like, it in visuals because it's just a fucking galaxy or whatever the hell. So I think they did a pretty good job there. And this kill is pretty cool. What's all the
You
spikes?
did it, big guy. We did it.
And so, overall, I'm kind of thinking a 7, high 7 out of 10, which is still good. I guess, for me, a 7 is good. So, I do think it's overall a good episode. I do, they kind of do, we're going to jump straight to here. So we have this on screen the next time. God, cool trailer. Okay, so I feel like they do work around the big size issue fairly well. I do kind of wish they did a bit more with Ultima than just the retries with Hulk, but overall, I do think it's good. The animation is very high quality. I think it's visually great. There's a lot of good, solid movements. The models look pretty solid here. I do think the best one looking is just the OG Godzilla model there that I think is based on -1. I'm not super sure. But, like, animation, I think it's good. The rundowns, I think, are overall both pretty solid and do their job. And the conclusion, I also think it's pretty solid. Overall, I do just think it's, like, a good episode. I feel like the track's going to be one of those ones that's not super great on its own, but does well to back up the fight, much like, Wily Tomfoolery, or whatever the fuck that one's called for Wily Tom. I feel like it's going to be a similar case here. Overall, I think it's a good episode. Oh, very, like, it's just good. I think that's just my general stance. It's a good episode. By default, I do think it's, like, the weakest of the Free Hulk episodes for me, but that's a high bar. I have both versus Doomsday and versus Broly ranked high, despite their flaws. So, like, I do think overall, it's good. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm saying the same thing over and over, but overall, good episode. I'm happy, and I hope the people, the one guy who had this as, like, his most wanted for fucking years, I hope he's really happy with it. I hope they're loving it. And I hope you're happy with this and how it turned out. I do think it's good. The 3D episodes have weirdly been like the lowest, aside from like one for me out of all these. I mean, I shouldn't say that. We just got Spider-Man Deku. That's like my favorite of 24 and 5 right now. Anyways, overall, I think it's a good episode. Very solid. I'm looking between a 7 and a high 7. And Ruby vs. Maka, I am so happy it is the 200th episode, and I am super excited for this. I hope it's really good. I can't wait. I should maybe rewatch at least volume 9 of Ruby. And like last year, I finished up Soul Eater too, the manga. I'm really glad I did. It's a great read. But I am looking forward to that. That's fucking hype. I hope you all did enjoy this. Like always, video, the original episode, description below. Yeah, I am super excited for Ruby Maka, and that's all I really got. Peace.